Okay, so in this video we are doing the adjustment of a clutch. In this particular case, this is a Springfield Phantom 1. The same method is used for Phantom 2, British Phantom 1, and also the small horsepower cars that use the Rolls-Royce style clutch and not the Borg and Beck clutch. So as you can see, I have the floorboards out. I have what I call the manhole cover off. There was no point in showing that in the video. And the other thing I have is I have my original factory tools ready. So this part of the tool fits onto the lock nut, which you can see right in there, hopefully. Right, there's the lock nut. And then this part of it fits into the Allen, or the socket head part of the adjustment. And then the other tool that I have is a gauge. So this distance from here to here is 0.950 of an inch. And for this particular car, that is the thickness that we want. So the gauge will go into this area right here. And as you can see, the fingers are a little tight now. In this instance, what I'm doing is I'm adjusting I just put new linings in. So so I backed off all the adjusters. So yeah, so I put my gauge in like such, and it goes right in that area. Hopefully the video is coming in clearly to show that it goes above. There is a little ridge down there. It goes above that, and from there to there. So you're basically measuring the distance that this finger is from the pressure plate. And as you can see, there's movement in that finger. So we turn the grub screw to eliminate that movement. And once you have, just double check that the gauge is still in there nicely. And once you've done that, then you tighten the lock nut of the grub screw up. You may need to hold the grub screw hex in position to keep it from rotating anymore. So then you bear down tight on that. And then that's the adjustment of one of the fingers. You have three others yet. So I just double check, yep, we are there. So I should go back and say that this is 950. There are different thicknesses or different distances for different series cars and different models as well. I just put a red mark on there so that that'll indicate that I was here and that one is adjusted and the Loctite nut is tight. Okay, so now we have that initial adjustment put in place. So now we turn the engine around to get to one of the next fingers up in position. We just managed to get lucky and get the next one around. We can feel that there's a lot of play there. So we take up on that play. I want to zoom the camera a little bit of a better view. So this is the lock nut I mentioned. That's the grub screw. And of course my distance piece fell down in there, but you'll see down there it's where the finger touches that collar, and there's a little spigot below that collar too, and you don't want to measure that part of it. So you can see we got some play there. We are going to take up on that. And you don't want to turn too hard because you'll just move the throw out bearing further away. So you want to get it so that there's a little bit of movement, maybe a little bit of side movement, just to indicate that it's just barely touching. All right, that feels good. So now we lock it. Okay, locked up. Yep, feel good still. Let's see where that goes. Okay. Ah, good. Yep. Take that up. All right, that feels good. Take a Loctite, lock nut. Okay, that's tight. All right, so now with everything still up and out of the way, we're gonna try it and see how it feels. Okay, so we're just checking over our clutch adjustment before we put everything back together. Make sure we're on the right track here. So yeah, so we got the car running. We press in the clutch. And you know, you can see the things happening the way they're supposed to. And one of the important things is the rotation of the input shaft of the transmission, which hopefully you can see straight down there. I'll put the camera down there to show you. So yeah, so you see the shaft rotating. You press the clutch in, and within 4 or 5 seconds that shaft stops rotating. Means that your clutch brake is adjusted now. Let's see here. 1, 2, up. Oh, that's good. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, so I get a stop and rotation in 3 seconds, and that's really good. So I'm really happy with that. Yeah. So now we're not totally done with the job, but we can start getting things back together at this point. Okay, so we're finishing things up with our Phantom 1 clutch adjustment. As you can see, I have the manhole cover back on. This being a Springfield Phantom 1, there's a Bezier connection that goes into it. And I'll also try to give you a little better view of the clutch brake adjustment. So yeah, so we have this. Make sure I'm getting a good shot here. Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, so we have this serrated nut here. That's a lock. So you undo that, and you have to nearly thread it completely off. And you want to make sure you're doing this with the engine off. If the engine is running, the clutch brake can engage and it'll wing it, zing it right in and jam up and stall the engine. And if you ask me how I know that, well, I won't want to answer you. So anyway, so you back that off all the way, And then this plate here that has all the little holes around it, that's knurled, the little hole, one of the little holes engages with a pin. So you back that off from the pin just enough, and then you can rotate that knurled nut while it's still engaged on the teeth, the splines of the actual clutch brake piece. So you wind that in one hole at a time. Try it, see if the shaft stops turning when you depress the clutch within 4 to 5 seconds. When you finally achieve that, then that is your adjustment. Now the next and very critical adjustment is your pedal adjustment. So I'm going to have to put some of the floorboards in to show you about that. I have this linkage pin, I have the top hat out, the pin off. Some of these have a turnbuckle style adjustment, some of them don't. If you have one that doesn't, I recommend getting one in there. It makes life a lot easier. So yeah, so let me put in, I need to put in a couple sections of floorboards, just lay them in there for the moment. Okay, we got that. Now this guy. And the one we need in temporarily, that's most important, is this one. Sort of sneaks in like that. Because what we want to do is we want to check this clutch pedal free play. And so it's the distance of lifting it and it hitting the floorboard. So this one is a little excessive. So you want it to be about 3/4 or 1 inch. And clutch wear will cause that free play to disappear. And when the free play disappears, that means that your clutch is no longer gripping completely. And you want to fix that, because that's will just cause slipping and things will go downhill very quickly from there. So I'm going to pull out the pin here. I already have this loose, and then I want to go in a couple turns to bring it up a little bit closer to the floorboard. Okay, we'll see what that gets us. And clutch pedal free play is something you need to check periodically while you're operating the car. So you want to monitor it, and then like I say, when it's no longer 3/4 or 1 inch. Looks like I went the wrong way. Let's see here. I needed to come out. I guess I got my lever direction a little mixed up. Okay. All right. Try to get away with just this guy as long as it's held up there. All right. I think I can maybe do another turn. Okay, that feels good. That's about an inch. So we're going to go with that. So now you just got to put the pins back in place and your top hat, all that. Put your floorboards in and you're all done.